Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Okay, so the scene with Anna and Holly. Anna comes across as a hypocrite, right? Person that did chastising Holly about keeping a daughter from Robert was very hypocritical. And yeah, she was like, oh, well, Robin was 5 when, the truth came out. But the point is, you still did it. Okay, her sin may be a little more worse, but glass houses and stones, lady. She finds out who it is, and she starts really going in on Holly. But the biggest thing is, well, one, towards the end, she's like, the best thing you can sit there and do. And I don't understand why Holly was sitting there asking Anna, out of all people, how could she sit there and fix this? With Anna being like, you should just leave. You should leave and never come back. And I'm kind of like, well, would you do that? Would you just leave and just never come back? I understand leaving for a while and leaving for a little bit, but then never come back? I mean, hell, what happened to trying to work things out? Just leave? Now, I think this may probably be Holly or the actress's last week, but the biggest thing is, why did she go there in the first place? Why did she feel the need to tell Anna about that she has a daughter, Robin? With Robert. There was literally no viable good excuse of why she even went there in the first place, just to have Anna tear her down. None. And yeah, I know people could sit there and be like, but she needed to know because of Emma and da 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 da, or Robin and everything like that. I don't know exactly how these family trees work, but the point is, honestly, tell you the truth, Robert could have just told her that. There was no need for that scene whatsoever. Towards the end, she does sit there and talk to Sonny, and it's probably most likely about the diamonds. And Anna gets an alert from Interpol saying that they spotted Sitwell in Miami. So he's definitely coming from those diamonds. Now this send off party, right, for Hat Daddy. The speeches and him going around meeting everyone from Geo and talking, giving advice to Molly and TJ and everything. This doesn't seem like. I mean, I know it didn't sit there and say it was going to be permanent, but this kind of seems damn semi-permanent. Like, especially towards the end when he looked at his son and everything like that, he waved goodbye and like that was it. It seemed more like it was damn near permanent. And if that's the case, I guess I'm cool with it. I mean, yeah, we need supporting characters, so, he's always there for advice and stuff. But I'm not really broken up about it either, on one hand. On the other hand, yeah, huh. You can kind of see where that's a problem, right? I don't think I actually have to sit there and say it. You already know. It's very clear that Molly and TJ are definitely drifting apart. Conversations are getting awkward as hell. TJ's like, so do you want another drink? Bro, she didn't even finish her last drink. Like there's still stuff in that cup. Like, why are you asking that for? There's a point where they're talking. I guess they're talking to Stella or Portia or Curtis or somebody, and Stella's there, and TJ Smith there trying to touch her and everything like that, trying to grab her hand, and at some point she kind of pulls away, and Stella's like, "Oh, this is bad." I couldn't tell if she looked at that with a level of concern or a level of disdain from Molly. Now she did sit there and give her some sound advice, as far as listen, just listen to him. Don't assume that he can't handle more or anything like that. You're gonna have to sit there and kind of be on the same page. And towards the end, they wound up hugging it out and everything. But it was like, you know, I was a betting man. You start looking at some of these clues. They're having these marital problems. Keep doing these scenes with Dex and Molly. Just saying. Now, for the most part, Dex and Molly didn't really do. I mean, Dex and Jocelyn didn't really do too much, except for Jocelyn was like, I'm not going to be hating Sonny anymore. I'm just gonna sit there and stay away from him and just kind of just do my own thing. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Only took you about 2 years since you started that whole campaign, so I guess that's progress. Even Geo, like I said, Geo met had Daddy for a little bit. Part of me feels like doing a separate video on this whole Geo situation. And yes, I did hear about the new news about a new potential love interest, Trina, which that's the case, you kind of got to wonder why did he actually have G on the show for? Sam is getting ready for her surgery. Felicia's in there trying to get her to get some rest, but of course, Maxie and Spinelli come in there, and I think eventually Lucas comes in there too. Now, at some point, Maxie and Spinelli leave, and one of the things that Maxie sits in and says is, if it wasn't for that explosion, Lulu and Dante would still be together. And I don't know how to feel about that. Not to sit there and say it's not true, but just coming from her, right? Because part of me does look at that and it's like, is it just feels a twinge out of pocket in a sense? Like I know that her and Lulu are close, but I also vaguely remember her saying that she was kind of besties with Sam. So while she's sitting there talking to Spinelli, she's talking about how Lulu was going to sit there and tell Dante about her feelings before the explosion and everything like that. And she's wondering if she should sit there and tell him now. It just, I don't want to sit there and say it's betrayal, but there's something close to it. It just feels off. That's what it comes down to. Also, Sam did not want to sit there and see Molly or Christina after them acting like a pair of jackasses. But on the other hand, if they did come over there to apologize, maybe that wouldn't have been such a bad idea. I'm just saying, you know. Now Lucas is in there, and Sam asks Lucas, because she's not there thinking that he's going to do the surgery. He's saying that he can't because of hospital policy, family, and everything. But he does admit that he's a better surgeon than the guy who's going to be doing the surgery. So I'm kind of just like, yeah, you might actually have to sit there and kind of change that around because her chances are going to be a lot better with Sam, because it's still risky for her if she had the best surgeon possible. So long story short, she gets him to sit there and do it. Isaiah is hanging out with Jordan. Jordan came from a run. Jordan looks talking about the surgery and why he decided to do it was because of Lucky. And of course, he's like, he still has this whole ego thing. I think what he said was you have to think that you're the best to be the best. I don't know what kind of, not a bad mantra, but okay. Um, Dante is talking to Sunny, mostly about Lulu. It doesn't really go too much anywhere except for the fact that he does talk about his feelings for Lulu, and I feel like to what Maxie was saying, what Dante was saying about Sunny, that it could indicate something in the future for Dante and Lulu when we get the new Lulu or the new actress to play Lulu. Ava's attraction towards Rick seemed like it just kind of came out of left field. Like seriously, there was a point where she's sitting there giving him praise, talking about you're a good dad and just that and the third, and I'm kind of just like, where did this come from? You know? But some of the conversation just seems almost kind of not weak, but just repetitive. Like, there's a point where she's like, do you sit there and think that I'm guilty? Do you think that I'm guilty? I'm like, I could have swore that they had that conversation before when Rick was like, yeah, I was like, I know this is most likely an accident and I want Christina to pay. So if that's the case, then why are you asking this question again? I vividly remember that, and it wasn't even that long ago. That particular conversation. So why are we having this conversation again? I don't get it. Um, Now Rick does leave, and Nina comes in, and once again, um, Ava is praising Rick, defending Rick against Nina, and Nina's like, "Oh, you like him? You shouldn't like him. He's bad. He's bad news for you. He's about this, that, and third, and he's not good for you." I was like, "Really, Nina? Really? He's not good for you? What about his brother? You know, the guy who you were dating, when people sat there and said that Sonny wasn't good for you, but now you're telling her, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, let that make sense." Rick goes to the hospital, tells Liz about Heather, and, and asks her, could she go with him to break the news to and Curtis and Portia. And she was like, no. Now apparently he was like, this is not exactly what I wanted. He wanted her to, get a lesser sentence or better living conditions or whatever. And I'm like, this you not even because even Liz was like, you seem like you're kind of mad, like you didn't see this coming. So he decides to go there and tell. Well, at first he's sitting there asking Portia and Curtis, "You want to go somewhere private? I got some stuff to tell you." And this is another example of why people do not like Portia. Portia's like, "No, I'm not going anywhere with you. So you want to have this conversation in public?" And she's like, "Oh, okay. It's about Heather, right?" So for some odd reason, she decides to be extra about it. Gathers everyone around. It's like, come on, this is all about Heather, I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure people were just having a good time, drinking, and just kind of chilling and stuff. And now you want to sit there and decide to be your annoying usual self, and gather everyone there. And Rick tells everyone, and nobody's happy. Trina's not happy, which is really odd, by the way. I mean, it's not odd in the sense that yes, I do remember her sitting there saying that um, she felt like it was a huge release, a huge weight off her shoulders when she felt that she wasn't getting out. But prior to that conversation, she did sit there and say, "Hey, you know what? Whatever way the justice system decides to go, it is what it is." Because I distinctly remember her saying that. By the way, she looked good today. Listen, when Trina gets dolled up, that chick goes to town, and I'm here for it. A lot. There was a lot in this episode. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else. I might have missed a couple of things as well. Since I'm at three, I think this has a lot to do with this book. This is not. I'm definitely going to get a different book. In reality, I felt like. Well, in reality, I wrote like 3 pages, even though it should be 2 pages. So, yeah. Anyway, if I miss anything, write it in the comment section. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about all the shows: General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and the Beautiful, and Young and the Restless. I'll see you in the next video.